Okay, Lombok continues. I was up super early to get some nice photos. Mountains were clear this morning. It was very cloudy when I arrived last night. And I left a short while ago, had a horribly steep climb, but now I'm at the top of the pass. I certainly can't ride down this one-handed, so I'll just pull over. Yeah, so I'm heading all the way down to the coast. In fact, you can see the sea all the way down there. I can anyway. Yeah, so fantastic. Now it should be plain sailing. Just like that. We're at the beach. Wow, very pretty beach. Good beach. Yeah, nice little ride down, a little bit of gravel, nice and easy, taking the time. And then I found a restaurant selling food. Alhamdulillah. Okay, ready for my final full day on the bike. This is the little room I stayed in last night. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Nice little room, $7. Very simple place by the beach. $7 included banana pancake breakfast and as much coffee as I could drink. Anyway, good morning, and here we go. Off around the southwest coast. Podwita Homestay, that's where I was. Around the southwest coast, which is supposed to be fantastic. Back to the ferry, see if we can get a ticket for tomorrow, and then back to Mataram, and then tomorrow ferry. Okay, a little run through the gear, because I've had a bit of a change in my bikepacking gear. When I say bikepacking, this is, let's be clear, this is, just to be specific, this is credit card touring, which means I'm not carrying camping gear, I'm not carrying cooking gear, I don't even carry any food, I've got some water, but I'm staying in cheap hotels and hostels every night, which is basically what I do, certainly in Southeast Asia. It's very hot, I don't need to carry much gear. But what I have got is I've got my saddle and my frame bag with a few clothes in for the evening. Basically just a pair of shorts, underpants and a wife beater. Got my little top tube bag that's got all my cables in. And then I've just got my usual tool bag on. I've got my evening shoes strapped to it. They're very light, but they're bulky, so this is a great solution. And I haven't got my big saddle bag on the back because I don't need a lot. But what I have got is this hip bag that a good friend of mine gave me, Jack, very generously. Had one going spare. And at first I was like, what am I going to do with that? But it's fantastic. It's really good for touring. I put all my valuables in, so I've got nothing in my jersey pockets at the back that could fall out. Everything's zipped up. I've got my passport, got my cash, got my card, got my headphones, got various other things. You can get a lot in there, and that's it. That's all I need, and I don't feel it. I just don't feel it. It just sits there. Even in this heat, it's absolutely fine. There's no weight there. It's not like a backpack. So really good bit of gear. I'm sold on that. So yeah, it's just a little bit of gear tech for the nerdy types. Okay, so heading around the coast. I'm around to the sort of southwest corner now, which is supposed to be the very pretty bit. Well, it is the very pretty bit. That's fantastic. And like all good coastal roads, it's hard work. A lot of up and down over little headlands. You know, short, sharp climbs, a little bit like the ravines on Bali. But very pretty. And good roads. Well, they're a little bit broken in places. But when they're not broken, they're good. And very little traffic. Going through lots of little villages and towns. People are super friendly. Just, you know, Muslim or Hindu. Indonesians are very friendly people. You know, they all smile and wave and say hello and want to chat when I stop, and you know, they're good eggs for sure. And I got a drink and I got a little snack at the last place. And no one looks at me reproachfully, even though it's Ramadan. I know that would be different in other Muslim countries. I remember when I lived in the United Arab Emirates, you would get arrested for chewing gum during Ramadan. Very different ethos, but Indonesians are very laid back. They're very chill. So. That mosque in the palm trees. I'll get a photo of that when I get closer. Okay, everyone. Well, I've rounded the southwest corner of Lombok, and now I'm on the sort of northern coast of the southwest peninsula, if that makes sense. It was a beautiful ride, but man, I had to work for it. I had to pay for it. It's just a succession of brutally steep 20% climbs. And it was starting to get a bit in the middle of nowhere, and I was running out of water, so and it's getting hot now. It's like 11 o'clock. But then suddenly they were all over, and pulled down into a little town and got a drink. Yeah, now I'm headed back. Lovely road, very quiet, much less traffic on Lombok. I had a busy bit yesterday, but you know, certainly out around this end there's very little traffic. Headed towards the ferry. I was going to stay the night in Mataram in the capital again and then take the ferry tomorrow, but just going to see if maybe I can get on one today, because it's Eid al-Fitr this weekend, the end of Ramadan, which is the biggest party around here, biggest festival, and there'll be a lot of people travelling, so it might just be good to head back home if possible, but we'll see. I'll check in at the ferry port, but for now, love the boats they make here. See if we can get a good photo of the boats. I think I got one from Nusa Penida. There you can see someone here. Lovely little wings, stabilizers. Yeah, and it's not hilly here, it's nice and flat. Woo, thankfully. It's starting to get sore feet, hot foot as they call it. And the only real cure I find is to loosen the shoes off and actually have a rest and take my foot up. But I've discovered I can do that while cycling. My shoes are clipped in and I've just taken both of my feet out and I'm just cycling my foot on the shoe, and I can feel the hot foot pain has gone away. Who'd have thought it, eh? Okay, well I got to the boat. There's one leaving in 30 minutes, so I'm going to get on it. So that's it. That's the end of my little Lombok tour. Fantastic. Okay, they want me on board.